Hey, welcome back everyone. My name is Joe, and over the last year I've documented my journey of writing a first novel. In fact, a trilogy of novels called Rivendoa. I live with my husband Richard and our granddaughter Hannah on 6 acres of land nestled in the wilds of Virginia. Every Monday I post a video sharing the joys and challenges of writing a first novel. In this week's video, I'm back out at the clearing, filling holes along the path in the woods and filling holes in my novel. So, come along and join me on my adventures in living as a writer and an artist. Hey everyone, welcome back to my author's channel. Today I'm out here at the clearing and I'm going to be tackling a big tree root that got pushed over in the ice storm. It's one of those big pines that's right along here at the clearing, and it's right across one of the main walking and bike paths that we have out here at the woods. This large tree fell during the ice storm. It pulled up a huge root ball, which is, like I said, right across one of the main pathways along the bike trails that I have here in the woods. This happened to a lot of the trees, but this one is right beside the clearing and cuts into the middle of the trail, so I have to do something about it. Of course, this uprooted tree and filling in this big hole in many ways is sort of a parallel to the struggles I'm having writing my first novel, Rivendoa, Wings of Shadow. The holes I have to fill in the plot and in the story and in the character development seem overwhelming to me, and it looks like I have a lot of hard work ahead. Finishing the novel at this point, to be honest with you, feels kind of impossible to me. Maybe it's because I've never written a novel to completion before, but I've got to work my way around it. And I sort of decided today to just be honest and talk about that instead of, I tend to, post a rosy picture of everything that's happening. And that's, writing is difficult. And so I think this is an opportunity to share that with you guys and maybe get some feedback and some ideas about the struggles you've had as a writer, if you are a writer. So anyway, after I do my best to fill in the hole with the root ball, I intend to get a fire going, put the kettle on the boil, and make some hot coffee out here. It's starting to warm up a little bit, and the spring is in the air, but it's still a little chilly, so a hot cup of coffee will feel good. And at that point, I'm probably going to sit down and talk to you guys a little bit about the struggles I'm having getting my novel complete. So anyway, as Professor Tolkien famously wrote, it's the job that is never started as takes the longest to finish. So let's get moving. As you guys can see, it's a fairly substantial root ball that's sticking up from this large pine tree. It's got huge roots sticking out, and the pathway runs right down through here. So, until I get this fixed, nobody can really walk through here or ride a bike. Of course, it'd be too dangerous. But today I'm planning on cutting all the roots back first, and then I'm going to take out the chainsaw and cut the main part of the trunk of the pine tree away from this. Of course, is right here across the path, and it's got this huge pine tree that's running way out here across these two ravines. So I think what I'm going to do is, like I said, go ahead and cut it right here, and this will hopefully reduce the root ball and allow me to push it back into place, especially after I cut out these roots. Then I'm just going to try to chop at it, do what I can to cut it up, and try to make it as flat as I can right through here. We'll just see what we can do. Well, I was kind of hoping that the root ball would just fall right into place, but it looks like I'm going to have to do some digging to get it to go back into the spot where it needs to go. I don't know, when something gets pulled out of a hole, it rarely goes back in the same way. So I'm going to do some digging. Well, it looks like slow and steady is the only answer. So let me keep at it. I don't know how much longer I'm going to do this today, but I want to get a little bit more of it cut away. And then it's time for a fire and some coffee. Well, I got my work cut out for me, that's for damn sure. Whew. Time for some coffee. Okay, got my bag here, and today I got to pull out some of my goodies. I've got my Hellfire grill. Love this thing. It's been my stalwart out here. I've got my boiling pot. I might not need this one today. I did bring it with me, but I'm going to use the kettle. So I'm going to boil with the kettle so I can just keep this one put away. But in order to make coffee, I will need my press. So let's go ahead and take that out. And here we go, got that press. And what else? Got my knife. Always good to have a good knife out here at the clearing. Never know when I'm going to need to cut up something. And can't go anywhere without my kuksa. And I think that's it for right now. I just have to go ahead and get my coffee going. So, oh, do you hear that? That's one of the hawks. We have, oh, there it is. I wish I could get this up there so you can see it. Hold on, let's see if I can capture him. Looks like a bird fight. Can you see him? Oh, they've taken off again. Well, that was interesting. I wish I could have captured that. I'll see if I can get him again sometime. But that was the hawk that lives out here. And that was what just went overhead right there was one of the blackbirds. I'm not sure what kind, maybe it's a crow, but they don't like the hawk. You know, the hawk, I think, steals eggs and causes mayhem. So, you know, there were like 5 of them on the hawk right overhead, just, you know, attacking him. So anyway, where was I? Coffee. All right, let's get the fire going, and we'll get moving on getting the kettle on the boil, and then I'll talk. And once I get my coffee brewing, I'll talk to you a little bit about Rivendoa. There we go. It is a little bit windy out, so I got to kind of keep an eye out. If the fire gets too windy, I may have to put it out, but let's see what we can do here. Looks fine right now. All right, I get my coffee press going here. Put my coffee in. I just have to pour it right in and ready to go. Well, I feel like I made a lot of progress today. I separated the trunk from the big root ball. I was kind of hoping it would fall right back in the hole, but it did not do that. But still, I feel like I've made a lot of progress. All I have to do now is just kind of wear it down. And as I cut away around the root system, I'll just take out the chainsaw and cut that out so I can get it nice and flat here again. Because as you can see, this is right where the trail runs. You know, right here by the fire pit and the clearing. And I want to keep that trail open here. So I feel like I made some good progress today, but I think it's time for a little break. Nice boil going. All right, I went ahead and got my coffee, my hot water in. Looking good. It's on the boil. Show you guys it's in there. I'll let that brew for a minute and then go ahead and make my coffee. Okay, well I got my water in the pot in my coffee press, letting it brew for a few minutes. And then I think I didn't press the play button on my phone to capture that, but it is brewing. Got it in here right now. It's nice and hot, and it is brewing in there. I did go ahead and put out the fire because I was a little concerned about how windy it has been today, and you know, it's blowing smoke across to the neighbors, and don't want that. So even though I did start my fire after 4 p.m., which is what the forestry laws in Virginia right now say, you can only have a fire after 4 p.m. So still, it's a little windy, just don't want to risk it. So this should be ready in just a minute. When I get my coffee poured, I'm going to go ahead and talk to you a little bit about Rivendell. Not the most exciting talk I've had, and not the most uplifting, but you know, you have to take a little bit of all of it in life, right? So I wanted to share that. You know, can't always be the most positive things about my writing. So anyway, with that, I'll go ahead and see if my coffee's ready, get it poured, and we'll go from there. That's good. Can you see that? Nice and dark, black and bitter, just the way I like it. That's true though. I do like it black and dark and a little bit on the bitter side. Kind of like, you know, sometimes the way life feels. So anyway, all right, let's see if we can get all this set up right, get our angles correct, get a little lighting here. Okay, what did I come here to talk about today? I'm digging holes, and as I said earlier, that's kind of the way I feel about my writing right now. It's like I'm digging a hole, and it is hard, and I'm sweating, and I don't feel like I'm making much progress. So maybe by filling the hole, you know, that is the mindset that I have to be in to get this novel complete, because I am determined to get this thing done if it kills me. You know, and I have to ask myself, why why is writing so hard? I mean, it's exactly what I want to be doing. I'm able to work at home. Excuse me. I'm able to sit at my computer. I could sit at the computer for 15 hours straight. Of course, I have other things I have to do throughout the day, but I just, I have to keep asking myself, why is it so hard? When it's the very thing I want to be doing. I don't have an answer for that. I tend to be a very slow writer as it is. I've spent years really working on this trilogy. I've written parts of the second and third books a little bit, and I've written what I feel like is a finished third of the first book, with big chunks of the middle and ending done, but I still have. I just sometimes feel like I can't get it complete. I guess if you're a writer, maybe you've experienced this too. And I wouldn't necessarily call this writer's block, but it's more like writer's fatigue, because I just feel like it's a grind every day trying to make myself get down there and write. Because from my point of view, that's the only way I'm ever going to get it complete, is if I write it. If you don't write it, it doesn't get done. I follow a lot of other writers on BookTube and AuthorsTube here on YouTube, and people share the difficulties they have with writing, and which is very helpful, because it makes me realize I'm not the only person who struggles with, getting that, sitting down at the computer and making myself write out these scenes that are, some of them are not the most fun to do, but they're key and important, and they have to be done. And so, it's like you see that blank screen in front of you. I guess it's comparable to the blank piece of paper that writers have always faced in years past. But it's just a struggle. That's all I can say about it. It's a struggle to get it, to do it. I know it's just not me that struggles. Writing this trilogy has been, without doubt, probably the single most difficult creative endeavor I've ever accomplished, or ever tried to accomplish. And I don't want to come off as whining or complaining. I feel very privileged and lucky that I have the time to put into this, and to really do and create my life's work. A lot of people don't have that opportunity, and I feel very lucky and very grateful and glad that I do. I have been through difficult things in my life. I have struggled through sorrow, pain, despair, desperation, depression. I've even felt extreme moments of terror in the face of traumatic and tragic circumstances that I have witnessed. But still, this daily grind, even with all those things that have happened, is the hardest thing for me to do. And I'm just going to say it, and maybe by saying it, I can just get rid of it and then move on and get back to writing. Because in moments of clarity and creative highs that I've had during writing this book, I've loved every minute of it, and I've become so excited by it, the latest thing that I've thought that I can add to this book. But then there are moments like today, and really it's been the last 2 weeks, I have just struggled to get myself to write. And when you're sitting there and you're alone at your computer late at night or early in the morning, with me it's early in the morning, other people it's late at night, you just feel like nobody is going through what you're going through. But what I realized by looking at other people, and hopefully by sharing this, I can help somebody else who's struggling with or having the same struggles in their writing. That's why I decided to go ahead and share this today, and talk a little bit about what I'm feeling and how difficult it is, and hopefully that's going to help me by letting it out and sharing it with you guys. It'll get me through to the other side, so I can get back back to the writing. You know, I've always felt as an artist, and I feel like my writing is an extension of being an artist. You know, and I've been aware that I was born an artist. From the moment that I really understood what creation and art was, I have been doing it and trying it in some form pretty much all my life as a graphic designer in my work, you know, as a painter, a writer, you know, all the different ways that I've tried to create things in my life. You know, I've kind of feel like creativity is like going to a natural spring to drink. You know, that creativity comes, and if you drink too much of it, it can run dry for a while. The good thing is that it always replenishes. You know, just when you think you don't have any energy left to give, you wake up one morning and you're like excited about some new idea, something you want to create, something you got to just get out and do. And luckily with the writing, over the last couple of years, I have had, you know, whenever it starts to run dry, it comes back again, and I keep pushing at it and making it happen. And I'll come up with a new idea that fuels my desire to keep going. You know, and doing the videos is helpful, talking about it, you know, and like going to the locations that I've taken you guys to, the Egyptian building and going down to the Hollywood cemetery. All that fuels the writing because it, you know, it puts me in the place where my characters are, and you know, that's exciting to me. And talking about it with you guys is a way to do that too. So I have learned that though if I spend too much effort on some of that stuff, because you know, making these videos, I exert a lot of creative energy. You know, doing the filming, the editing, the writing, the scripting, the talking about it, and it just takes a lot out of me. And so sometimes I need to pull back from that a little bit so I can focus on what's really important in all this, which is writing my first novel. You know, what seems to work for me when I get to this point where I feel kind of dried out is sometimes I have to back off and I do other projects and other things, but with the writing, I have to at least keep some level of writing going every day, because if I pull back too much from that daily writing, it's really hard to get back. It's sort of like exercising or anything that's kind of difficult to do. You know, if you stop doing it, the longer you don't do it, the longer it takes to get back to it. So I find that even if I'm not writing parts of Rivendell, I try to write other things, you know, maybe poetry or sometimes these scripts or that I write for these videos. I'm also, you know, working on my Lord of the Rings site again, and that kind of creative energy has excited me. But, you know, I really have to keep the focus on finishing The Wings of Shadow. You know, that has to be my main priority because it has to happen this year, flat out. I either get this book done or I'm going to die. You know, it has to happen. One or the other of those two things is going to happen. So, you know, I don't want to jinx myself, but you know, it has to be finished this year. Done. Well, I feel like I've kind of vomited up enough of my feelings today. I don't know if you are even interested in any of this. So I kind of want to end on a more positive note, and I kind of want to do a toast. You know, I want to do a toast to you guys and to myself as a writer. And so for all the writers out there, here's to keeping the creative fires burning, even in the pouring rain. If you have a beverage out there, drink and toast with me, because we got to keep at it. So anyway, with that, I'm going to go ahead and wrap up for today, and hopefully next week I'll be in a better frame of mind. I think I'm going to have another treasured book review for the next video. Not sure yet, but we'll see what happens. In the meantime, send me positive vibes to keep me writing. Thanks all of you guys. Really helps talking about it. And I'll see you next time.